Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as Zaywell, and today we are doing this bracelet, and I've already forgotten what the pattern number was. This was pattern 3903 over on friendshipbracelets.net. There we go. This one was more difficult than the last one. So the last one was sort of had that dovetail thing going on. This one, I think I got it kind of figured out as being a pattern that was like really small, like 3 colors, 6 strings, and then they made it triple wide is my guess. And I'm used to patterns being doubled, tripled. Heck, I got pillows that are 24 times, so I kind of get it. But it does make it a little bit harder to do any kind of like segment knotting. You're kind of working back and forth, left to right. And that was fine, except for it just took longer. Where the last bracelet was, I think it was only an hour and a half. This one was more like an hour and 40 minutes to make. So longer, yeah. And I think a lot of that was like watching the pattern on the screen, double checking like every time I get through a section. And you would think that it seems simple enough that you wouldn't have to do that, but I was really afraid that I was going to make mistakes with this. It was definitely trickier. The overall pattern looks really cool, and it uses the strings a lot more evenly, so all of the colors at the end were fine. The center, that was a big thing for me, was that we were going to change it and flip it. So the center ends up with a cool little diamond setup and flips the pattern. But when you get to the other side, it doesn't feel like there was a big change from what was happening on the top half, because it's sort of, there's a certain kind of symmetry between the how the thing works. Like you got the dots above and the dots below. Going the other direction, it kind of felt like it's still just the same pattern. And I had to actually like look closely to see the details, to see in what way is it different, and it was. So I think that's kind of interesting. It was very different. It's definitely not the kind of bracelet that I would normally pick. It just happened to be that I already had the strings cut, the kumi done. I needed to come up with something to this size, and I thought this looked like a challenge, and it was a challenge. And yeah, I do like how it turned out. I'm not sure what I would relate the pattern to though. Like I don't know what the inspiration was for the person who made it, if there's some kind of an ethnic tie to it, or if it's just a mathematical thing, or what they were thinking. But it is pretty. It's a good looking bracelet. So I definitely, if you're into a good challenge, then this could be for you. I wouldn't say it's advanced. It's getting close to advanced though. I definitely would have to say that when it came to my knotting, I definitely tightened up a lot of the tension higher than I normally would, because there's so much zigzags going on in it that it would be real easy for this to turn out kind of sloppy looking. So yeah, you have to really kind of crank on the string there to get it nice and tight, to keep the form going nice and straight. So yeah, in some ways, I guess that does make it pretty advanced. You wouldn't want to just do this early on as beginner, or even beginning intermediate. It's definitely way more challenging. Oh, so yes, you can see I'm bringing in the browns after I finish out the little black part. So this is the leading into the middle part, which was pretty neat. Like I said, I just created a center to flip it, and I wanted it to be a little bit different, and I think it turned out pretty cool. I like it. I don't know, it's a little bit whimsical. You don't notice it right away when you look at it. Most of the stuff you notice are like the zigzag lines, but then if you kind of take a moment to see, like, wait, there's something different, it is that the middle has this light and dark diamond set in it, which is really fun. Which, hey, reminds me, I need to thank my YouTube members. If you know the channel, you know that I try to do this in every video because I want my members to be recognized for being the great people that they are, and for keeping this channel going for years now. It's been quite a while with the daily videos and stuff. It takes some effort, and they are there helping me to keep it going. So thank you guys so much for that. If you want to join, it's easy. It's the join button down by subscribe on YouTube, and it helps out greatly. It really does. So anyways, yeah, so now I'm going in the other direction, and it's only subtly different from the top part. The difference is what happens on the little ones at the edge, and where the dots are, as far as, like, you know, because it's like a pattern 3 times over, it changed. Like, the dark one is inset instead of you know, like doing 3, it does 2. It's kind of weird. You'll have to take a look at it, like at the end when I do the reveal, and like really check it out. Maybe pause the video or something. Also, when I do the reveal, I'll show you the back side of it, which is really fascinating, the way that looks, because I kind of kept to doing the same thing. There's an interesting kind of, I don't know, sometimes I don't like the back of the bracelet. It's not meant to be seen. But I thought this one was kind of particularly cool, just the way it turned out. So you have to check that out as well. I think this one would have worked too with some other colors, you know, like if we did red, orange, yellow, or something different. But I don't know. This brown stuff kind of gives it more like a tribally kind of effect. I don't know where the tribe would have been from or whatever, like where this kind of pattern would be a thing, but it does look pretty cool. Yeah, I think I'm ready for an easier bracelet. Like these last couple ones were 18 strings, and well, the last one I guess wasn't too terrible. It was 18 strings, but it was an easy kind of pattern. This one though, this one I can feel it in my fingers still. So I only just finished it just a little while ago, and yeah, like I said, I had to really tighten up the knots just to keep it from getting out of all wonky looking. So yeah, if you try to make it yourself and you want to share those pictures with me, you could do that over on Discord. That's always an option. We have like a different categories and stuff, so like if it's a work in progress, that goes there. If it's something that you made you want to share, there's a thing for that. If there's a pattern that you're interested in and you have questions on how to do it, or want to submit it as, you know, something for a future video, there's a thing for that. There's we even share pictures of pets because that's cool too. So oh, I think they were getting near the end of it. I just noticed like it's starting to taper in. Yay. So yeah, I was kind of concerned because I kind of ran out of things to talk about for this particular bracelet, and lo and behold, we're at the end. So yay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Please do that. It helps out a lot. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.